French tech tree is going to receive its second heavy tank line with no autoloaders, guys. And today I am going to share first details of the upcoming vehicles.
Boom! Yeah, that's right.
Once again, what an exciting episode this is going to be. Because I have the first details of the upcoming vehicles in the French tech tree. Tier 8, Tier 9 and Tier 10 heavy tanks with no autoloaders with heavy armor. This new alternative French heavy tank branch will feature armored tanks without an autoloaders. So armor is going to be the special thing about those tanks. At the moment we have AMX 5100, AMX 5120 and AMX 50B that actually already has super awesome hull armor, but it also has that huge hideous turret with no armor that is easily penetrable by every single tank that this vehicle is going to see on the battlefield. But at the same time, AMX 50B is one of the best traders in this game, because it is able to dish out 1600 damage within 7.5 seconds after the first shot, which is good enough reload time between every single shot to receive only one shot from the enemy heavy tank, from the enemy tier 10 heavy tank, like a mouse or something like that. But with this new French heavy tank branch, you get regular guns but a lot better armor, all around armor, and some pretty crazy armor action, frontal armor action in tier 10 position. But guys, let's start from the tier 8. Where we have AMX 65T, aka AMX 65 tons. I wonder where it got its name from. Interesting. But over here we do not have that crazy of a frontal hull armor, but it is still not too bad. Pointy nose. It reminds me that 110 tier 8 Chinese heavy tank, as you can see from the pictures. So this is that vehicle, AMX 65T, first pictures. Quickly, let's go over some specs as well. Today I am not going to focus too much on those specs. I'm just going to give you a quick overview because we have 3 vehicles to cover and I do not want to make this episode 30-minute long episode. And of course guys, before I move on, I have to give a huge shout out to the dailybounce.net blog and to the Harkonnen, who is yet another community contributor. Awesome dude, we get along really well. Link is in the description as well. Best place to get your daily dose of World of Tanks and World of Warships and maybe World of Warplanes news as well, so go check it out. But now AMX 65T first details. Let's take a look at it. Hit points 1550. Gun. You are going to have two options, 100mm gun and 120mm gun. 100mm gun gives you more penetration, faster rate of fire, better TPM. 120mm gun has a little bit lower penetration, but 100 extra alpha damage, and reload time of course is longer as well, and TPM is actually smaller. So I guess that 100mm gun is going to be a little bit better option for this vehicle. Shell types AP, APCR, HE, penetrations 232, 263, which is really good actually, and 50mm with HE rounds. Shell average damage 300 and 400. Reload time 8.92 seconds, rate of fire 6.73 rounds per minute, aiming time 2.88 seconds, and average damage per minute is actually over 2000, which is not too bad. And accuracy is quite awesome as well for this kind of gun, 0.32 or actually 0.33 rounded up. Gun depression, gun elevation angles -8 and +13 degrees. -8 degrees of gun depression is what I like to call really good gun depression, but 13 degrees of gun elevation is kinda meh. It is like autoloader-ish gun elevation. But the second gun, 120mm gun, AP, APCR and HE rounds with 218 penetration, 325 penetration with premium rounds. So if you are kind of a premium round player, a premium ammunition player, maybe this gun is for you because of that awesome penetration with premium rounds. And this premium round is still APCR. but 65 millimeters of penetration with 8 round shell average damage. Numbers are 400, 400 and 515. Reload time is, pretty damn long, 13.23 seconds, equals 4.53 rounds per minute. Aiming time is a little bit better actually, 2.59 seconds. Average damage per minute is a little bit over 200 lower, 1814. So this gun is going to be a lot better gun in trading shots with the enemy tanks, but the other gun is, the other gun can dish out a little bit better TPM. Accuracy, as expected, is weaker, 0.35 rounded up. Gun depression -8 as well, and gun elevation 13 degrees. But this is always going to be the same with same turret, because usually turret dictates your gun depression and gun elevation angles. But overall firepower, so as I said, 100mm gun, a little bit better DPM, but I guess actually thinking back to it, I said a lot of you guys are going to choose 100mm gun, maybe not, because in nowadays World of Tanks we have a lot of premium rounds, we have a lot of trading going on, so maybe 120 is also a viable option for you. But moving on, hull traverse speed 25 degrees per second is pretty damn weak, 27.1 degrees per second on turret. Top speed 40, not bad. Reverse speed 15. Terrain resistance numbers for you as well, which is pretty standard actually for this kind of heavy tank, 1.5, 1.7 and 2.4. But now let's talk about the armor. Hull armor 180 and 60, turret armor 250, which is really awesome with some nice sloping action as well, 80 on the sides and 60 in the rear. And as we can see from this armor profile, yes, hull is not super heavily armored, but this turret still is, and even those commander hatches on the top seem to be really strong. That big commander hatch or radar, I don't know how you call it, on the top of the turret has some 250 parts, some 220 parts. But there is some yellow action in the turret as well, so maybe if this is going to be a weak spot, then good luck. Good luck indeed. But moving on, guys, what do you think how heavy this tank is going to be? Is it going to be 65 tons heavy tank, as the name says? Of course it is going to be, with 72 tons of maximum load limit. Engine power is amazing, 1000 horsepower engine. Specific power 15.38 horsepower per ton, no concealment data at the moment, and view range 370 meters. And this tank is going to have 4 crew members. So AMX 65T, first details. Firepower is actually quite decent, I have to say. Turret armor is also really good. I was surprised about those commander hatches, but I do not know about that yellow part in the turret, that slopey part in the turret. Like, there is no armor at all. Maybe this is going to be a huge weak spot. And from the pictures I can see this vehicle is going to be a fairly high profile vehicle, so it is hard to hide your hull in the first place. But AMX 65T. Let's move up one tier where we have AMX M4 MLE 51. AMX M4 MLE. Yep, this reminds me AMX M4 MLE 49, tier 8 French premium tank with that armor, and seems like those new tier 9 and tier 10 French heavy tanks are going to take the same road. They look like super awesome heavy tanks already, as we can see from the pictures. So this is that new tier 9 French heavy tank. It looks really buffed and really awesome in my opinion with that HD model. So let's quickly take a look at the specs once again. Hit points 1900 hit points. Gun is the same 120mm D1203A gun, just upgraded version. Shell types AP, APCR and HE. Penetration values 257, 325 and 65mm. Damage numbers are also the same, 400 and 515. Reload time, as expected, gets a lot better, 10.07 seconds, that you can boost down to around 9 seconds, around that ratio. Rate of fire 5.96 rounds per minute, aiming time 1.92, really good aiming time. Average damage per minute close to 2400. And accuracy is also really good, 0.31 rounded up. Gun depression -8 degrees, gun elevation 15 degrees with 120 mm gun. But guys, once again there is yet another option for French heavies. 127mm 54 model 1948 boomstick. Shell types are really interesting. You have 242mm of penetration with standard AP round, and with premium AP round you are going to get 16 extra millimeters of penetration. 258. HE penetration is 64, but damage numbers are better than on 120 gun as expected. 470 with the AP rounds and 610 with HE round. Reload time close to 12 seconds, rate of fire 5.01 rounds per minute. Aiming time 2.21 seconds. Still really good aiming time for this kind of gun. Average damage per minute is just a little bit lower. So actually DPM is not going to change that much, 2353. But accuracy is going to suffer a little bit, 0.33 rounded up. Gun depression and gun elevation angles are the same. So this is the firepower of AMX M4 MLA51. First gun is more reliable gun with better penetration, better aiming time, better accuracy. So I actually do not know why you should prefer 127mm gun over that 120 gun. Because you lose in DPM, you lose in aiming time, you lose in accuracy, in reload time. Yes, you have 70 extra alpha damage, but still, I don't know, and weak premium rounds as well at the moment at least. So looking at those stats, I guess I am going to use a 120mm gun at first at least. Simply by looking at those specs. But moving on, hull traverse speed, once again not nothing special, 28 degrees per second, turret traverse speed 29.2 degrees per second, top speed is the same, 40 and 15 kilometers per hour. Terrain resistance numbers are actually a little bit better, 1.25, 1.34 and 2.21. But now guys, this is the interesting part. Hull armor. 180mm thick in the front, 60 on the sides and 40 in the rear of the hull. 300 in the front of the turret, 80 on the sides and 40 in the rear. And looking at the armor profile, yep, it looks pretty damn red and orange. And looking at the armor profile, actually armor chart on the bottom right corner, we can see that orange means starting from 200 to 240, around that. So yes, this vehicle, especially in hull down position, is going to be one annoying tank to deal with. And you have to pray for help from the RT. Yeah, it is like non-autoloader Kron one. I would say so, because it is almost impenetrable. 300mm thick turret armor, and this is raw armor value, not even effective armor value, guys. Raw armor value. Once again, sides are complete garbage, so you cannot side scrape with this vehicle. Actually, you can, but a little bit, just a tiny little bit. 60 on the sides, this is nothing. And 40 in the rear. And once again, top of the tank and rear of the vehicle is complete green. But this vehicle is 73 tons heavy tank with the same engine, 1000 horsepower engine. Specific power is 13.7 horsepower per ton. View range is 10 meters better than in the tier 8 position, 380 meters. But what is super annoying actually is that this vehicle is going to get 5 crew members. In the tier 8 position you get 4. So you are training your crew members up already. Let's say you are going to get your second skill, maybe your third kill as well, if you use the same crew starting from like tier 6 or tier 5, and suddenly one crew member with no skills. This is really annoying for me especially, because I love my skilled crew members. So yeah, but guys, this is AMX M4 MLA51. With introduction to super awesome frontal armor in French tech tree. Because new upcoming tier 10 French heavy tank AMX M4 MLE 54 gets even better frontal hull armor and a lot better gun as well in my opinion. So let's take a look at first details, or actually let's take a look at first pictures, and you can see what I'm talking about this gun. This gun on this vehicle looks pretty damn ridiculous, but vehicle itself, once again, I enjoyed Tier 9, how the Tier 9 is going to look like as well, but this is a little bit like buffed version of the Tier 9. I like it a lot, I have to be honest with you guys. So first details coming up now. Hit points 2200. Hit points, yep, not the best in tier 10. Actually on the lower side, IS-7's hit points got buffed as well. So this is going to be one of the lowest amount of hit points on tier 10 heavy tanks, but at the same time it has awesome armor. And if you can bounce more shots than higher HP tanks, then it is working for you. But let's talk about the guns, and once again we get something new over here. So 3 vehicles, 3 different guns. Hit points, I said 2200. First gun is yet another 120mm gun, this time T1203B version of this gun. 264 penetration with AP round, 325 with APCR and 65 with HE. Damage 400, 515. Reload time once again is better as expected, 9.88 seconds. Rate of fire 6.08 rounds per minute. Aiming time is getting really good with this gun right now. 1.73 seconds, average damage per minute 2430. Accuracy is got like DD, like accuracy 0.29 rounded up. Gun depression, gun elevation -8 and 15 degrees. But the second gun option, guys, 130mm 45 model 1935, so pretty old gun from 1935. Once again, AP round and AP round and HE round, but this time premium AP round gives you a little bit more penetration. So penetration values 250, 280 and 65. But guys, alpha damage is something else, guys, especially for tier 10 French heavy tank. 560 alpha damage, average damage, and 640 with HE round. So 560 compared to the 640, yeah, there is not much use for the HE round. But 560 on a heavy tank sounds interesting, really interesting. Reload time is actually quite long, 14.19 seconds equals 4.23 rounds per minute. Aiming time for 130mm gun is still pretty good, 2.11 seconds. Average damage per minute is not going to suffer too much, 2368. Accuracy is also really good for this kind of gun, 0.32 rounded up. Gun depression remains -8 and +15 degrees of gun elevation. So guys, the firepower on AMX M4 MLE 54 is really interesting. You have 2 options. Would you like to use one gun with really awesome gun handling, 1.73 second aiming time, 0.29 accuracy, 2400 DPM? Or would you like to use one boomstick with 560 alpha damage? Aiming time, yes, you are going to lose in aiming time, in DPM, in accuracy, but you have 2 options, 2 different options. You're going to lose with penetration as well, with 130mm gun. Hull and turret traverse speed 32 degrees per second and 33.4 degrees per second. Top speed 40, 15. Once again, every single tank starting from tier 8 they have exactly the same mobility, top speed wise at least. The range resistance numbers 1.25, 1.34 and 2.21. But now hull armor, guys. 220 in the front, 60 on the sides and 40 in the rear. Turret is exactly the same as in tier 9 position, 300, 80 and 40. So this 300 turret was also already really awesome, but hull 220 in the front. And as we can see from the armor profile, yep, this vehicle is going to be one tough nut to crack. 220mm of raw armor value with this kind of slope equals 300 plus effective armor easily, like easy, 300 plus effective armor value. And you really cannot side scrape with this vehicle, or you are going to reveal your weak spot with these toes, which are those curvy things in the front, as you can see, like Type 5 had back in the days. And those were Type 4 and Type 5's weak spots, but not anymore. So this is like face-hugging warrior. If you are going to face-hug, then good luck to the enemy vehicles. This is all I can say. But this tank is going to be 60 tons heavy tank with 85 tons of maximum load limit. Engine power is buffed. 1200 horsepower engine equals 15 horsepower per ton. Specific power ratio. So better than in tier 9 position. What is not to like, I should ask. View range once again improved by 10 meters, 390 view range and 5 crew members. Once again, like in tier 9 position, thank God. It would have been even awkward if, let's say, tier 8 gets 4 members, tier 9 gets 5, and tier 10 gets 4 members once again. But this was, or these are first details of the upcoming tier 10 French non-autoloader heavy tank, AMX M4 MLE 54. And guys, once again, keep in mind everything is subject to change. We're here to take our first look at all those stats and specs and pictures and whatnot. I am here for you. If I see something new, if I hear something new, I am going to share it with you. New and you. Actually rhymes. Awesome. So, ladies and gents, this was my today's episode to you in this beautiful Sunday. I hope you found it interesting, informative. If you did, thumbs up button is for that. Subscribe for more. Yep, hit that subscribe button as well. I never say it, but today I say it. Hit that goddamn subscribe button. Please do that. And I get you next time. Take care. Bye.